Because I remember when I was in school, and high school that I went to was the prototype for the now charter schools. They called them magnet schools back then. I was
Mm-hmm.
one of the first recipients of that magnet school. And even in that school, they left some of the older characteristics of traditional school. I had home economics, so I learned how to sew, I learned how to cook, I learned how to manage a checkbook, and do all these things that you would do to manage a house. However, I also learned how to type, do shorthand, and cosmetology. So when I finished high school, I didn't have to go work at a fast food joint. Not that there's anything wrong with it, but I didn't. I went out and I became a secretary for a huge medical establishment in New Orleans, and I worked my way through school. And then I did hair in the evenings on the side, and I worked my way through school. And I don't find anything wrong with that. But we have taken arts, sports, all of these other types of trades out of schools.
Mm-hmm.
Children don't have that ability anymore. It's all college bound, even for a child with special needs. No functional skills are there. You've got kids graduating from high school and they don't even know how to balance a bank account.
Hmm.
All of this is a part of growing and learning, because when you're raising children, you have a child, it is so important to remember you have just been given charge over a human life, a
Mm-hmm.
precious life, and you are now raising a little individual to become an adult. You've got to visualize that picture far out. And if that child grows up only knowing how to do one or two things, then they can become disillusioned if that doesn't work out for them.
Right.
I
Right.
appreciate how I grew up, because by being poor, I had such a vibrant community of family and friends who all grew up in the same neighborhood with me. We all had gardens. We all learned how to garden. And I was fascinated by gardening. But I also learned how to plant beautiful flowers and how to wrestle flowers. We call it wrestling in the South, where you go and get clippings from other people.
Oh.
So you don't have to buy the seeds or what have you. Or you water seeds and then you plant your flowers, and every year you propagate it over and over again, so that you don't have to get seeds anymore. I learned how to do that. My mother taught me how to do that. My aunt, who lived across the street, when it was time for them to go out into the garden, they called me, because it was important that I understood how to do that
Right.
for my future.
Right.
And
Right.
that's something that, since I would say probably in the north, since people migrated north, but in the south, since about 1970 or maybe the late 60s, families started losing focus of that, because their only thought was the American dream. I want my child to go to college. And my parents
Mm-hmm.
were different. They wanted us to go to college, but they were practical too. They
Mm-hmm.
wanted us to have the ability to live. What